Look at your bug-out bag right now. You probably spent $200, maybe $300 on it. It has sleek, waterproof zippers, bright neon accents, breathable mesh padding, and a famous outdoor brand logo stitched right on the front. You look at it and you feel safe. You think you are prepared. You are not prepared. You are a walking, highly visible loot drop. When the grid officially goes down and the panic sets in, that commercial nylon will rip on the first jagged piece of concrete you crawl over. Those expensive zippers will burst under the raw weight of real survival tools, and you will be left scrambling in the dirt trying to gather your gear while the city burns around you. The outdoor retail industry has completely lied to you. They sold you a false sense of security made of brittle plastic and sweatshop stitching. They want you weak, and they want you dependent on their fragile upgrades. But what if I told you that for exactly $40, the price of a cheap, forgettable takeout dinner, you can build an entirely indestructible, EMP-proof survival kit that bends the laws of physics to your will? Today, we are throwing your expensive commercial trash away. We are going to build the ultimate zero-fail military surplus kit for under $40. And I need you to pay close attention because I am going to show you a 1.5-inch piece of steel at the very end of this video that costs exactly $2. It is the absolute only thing that will prevent you from starving to death when your $150 tactical knife inevitably shatters in half. Item 1. The Shielded Spine, NVA Combat Pack. First, we need a container, the spine of our kit. You think you need fancy lumbar supports and 50 different tiny pockets for your snacks. You don't. You need a container that refuses to die. For exactly $10, we are buying the East German NVA Combat Pack. Yes, $10. This bag was engineered during the absolute peak of the Cold War. It is constructed from thick, brutal duck canvas. There are 0 zippers to break. It uses raw, indestructible metal buckles. But here's the secret. Inside that canvas is a thick, rubberized, waterproof layer. It is entirely EMP-proof, rot-resistant, and visually invisible. In a severe urban collapse, a guy wearing a $300 neon tactical bag gets immediately targeted by desperate mobs. A guy carrying a dusty, gray canvas NVA pack is ignored. You become a ghost. Retailers hate this bag because it destroys their profit margins. Grab it now for $10 before the surplus dries up. Item 2. The Multi-Threat Layer, Plash-Palatka. Imagine being trapped in an urban grid-down scenario. It's 2 a.m., freezing rain is pouring down, and hypothermia is setting in. You confidently deploy your silver mylar space blanket. Suddenly, a 10-knot wind catches the edge of it, and it tears like wet tissue paper. You are now fully exposed to the elements, and your core temperature begins to fatally crash. The survival industry pushes mylar blankets because they cost pennies to manufacture. In reality, they are death traps. We are replacing it with the military Plash-Palatka, or Zeltbahn shelter half, for exactly $12. This is heavy, tightly woven military canvas. It is not just a tarp, it's a multi-threat layer. You can physically wear it as an impenetrable rain cape. You can stretch it using raw paracord to build a wind-proof bunker. Because it is raw canvas, you can sit inches away from a roaring survival fire, and stray glowing embers will bounce right off it without melting a hole. If your partner goes down, you roll them into it, and it becomes a heavy-duty drag stretcher. It is heavy, yes, but it will never betray you in the freezing rain. Item 3. Massive Hemorrhage Stopper, Israeli Battle Dressing. We're halfway through the kit, sitting at $22. Keep watching because that $2 lifesaver is coming. Go open your commercial first aid kit right now. What do you see? A handful of cartoon Band-Aids, some dried-out alcohol prep pads, and maybe a thin roll of gauze? What exactly happens when a desperate looter shatters a window and a shard of glass slices deep into your brachial artery? What happens when you slip on wet concrete rubble and suffer a massive gaping laceration? Those tiny Band-Aids will not stop you from bleeding out in under 3 minutes. When SHTF hits, 911 doesn't exist. You are your own trauma surgeon. For $6, you are buying the Israeli battle dressing,
This is an uncompromising, aggressive trauma tool used by frontline medics. It features a built-in hard plastic pressure bar. If you are alone, terrified, and losing massive amounts of blood, you wrap this sterile pad over the wound, loop the elastic through the pressure bar, and pull it back violently. It applies extreme, localized mechanical pressure, instantly clamping the severed arteries shut. It buys you life.
Item 4. The Structural Repair Matrix, USGI 100 mph tape. Standard duct tape is a scam. I know you have a roll of silver commercial duct tape in your bag right now, thinking it will fix a broken tent pole. Have you ever tried using it in the freezing cold? The adhesive turns into useless dust. Try slapping it onto a soaking wet tarp. It slides right off. So what do combat medics and military engineers use when metal tears and heavy canvas rips in the middle of a monsoon? They use authentic USGI 100 mph tape. It costs $6 a roll. This tape was explicitly engineered during the Vietnam War to temporarily patch bullet holes in helicopter rotor blades. Let that sink in. It utilizes a heavy cloth mesh matrix and a violently aggressive chemical adhesive. It binds permanently to freezing steel. It binds to soaking wet canvas. If your boot sole rips completely off during an evasion run, this tape locks it back together using raw physics. In an absolute nightmare scenario, combat medics literally use it to tape severe chest wounds shut. It laughs at commercial tape. Item 5. The Analog Scavenger's Key, USGI P38 Opener. Preppers absolutely love to show off their $200 folding multi-tools, where they're massive tactical survival knives. But when you were scavenging through an abandoned, pitch-black grocery store and find a stash of sealed, canned calories, what do? I'll tell you what amateurs do. They use their expensive knife to pry the steel can open. They immediately roll the edge of their blade, permanently destroying their primary survival tool, just to eat cold beans. Or worse, the fragile stainless steel hinge on their multi-tool violently snaps under the torque. We have reached the final item. Our total is currently sitting at $34. We have a few dollars left. I told you at the beginning of this video that there was a $2 item that would save you from starving when your expensive gear fails. For $2, you buy the USGI P38 John Wayne can opener. It is a tiny 1.5-inch stamped piece of hardened steel. There are no batteries, there are no plastic hinges, there is no commercial weakness. It is pure, brutal mechanical leverage. You hook it onto the rim of a sealed can and rock it back and forth, slicing through the thick steel effortlessly. It gives you immediate access to locked calories without ever compromising your primary survival blade. It weighs virtually nothing. You put it on a piece of paracord around your neck, and it will outlast you. The commercial outdoor industry does not want you to know this video exists. They are absolutely terrified of authentic military surplus because you only have to buy it once. They want you caught in a consumer loop, upgrading your fragile plastic gear every single year to chase a feeling of safety. Veterans and the smart money are quietly clearing out these $10 NVA bags in $6 trauma dressings as we speak. Once these Cold War surplus stockpiles run out, they are gone forever. If you wait until the news tells you to panic, you will be at the mercy of $300 plastic bags that will get you killed. Stop participating in the illusion. Grab this gear now. Build this kit. Subscribe to The Den. Stay unbroken.